So speaking of time manipulation, Legends of Tomorrow had its finale, and I gotta say, I never get tired of this show. My one complaint with the other shows is how they just overdo it on the whole team thing. Well, this show was made to be a team show, so it's good here, and I always enjoy the different characters like Ray, Nate, who else is there? Heat Blast, Heat Wave, Firestorm.
I think it's Heat Wave. McRory, yeah.
Wave. Yeah.
Which, again, they never really go by the superhero names for most of the characters, so sort of pointless.
They haven't worn their own costumes in I don't know how long, but it's like I almost don't care.
Well, I mean, Ray,
they're just that likable.
Really at this point, Ray Palmer is the only character who needs a costume, and he barely goes at him anymore, so...
Yeah,
I don't know.
And yet I still enjoy him without the costume.
Yeah, no, I think Brandon Routh's great in the role. I genuinely love the character.
Yeah, he's Superman.
Yeah, there's not really a weak character on the show, I will say. Like, it has gone into some, like, cheesy plot territory.
Oh, yeah.
I will say I'm not a fan of magic in storytelling, and I've talked about that so many times. You can look at any of our past podcasts, basically, and see why I don't like magic in stories, but, all things considered, I think Legends has carried it out pretty well. Constantine, I think, is one of the best additions to the show, like, this season.
Yes,
so,
definitely.
Love having him on.
And I like how it kind of continues the plot thread that was left empty at the end of, or the cancellation of his own series, which was this whole Rising Darkness thing. There's something causing all of these, evil things to come out of hell and plague the real world, or whatever you want to call it. And so this kind of, shows that. It's this guy, this demon, what the hell's his name? Neron.
Mm-hmm.
His whole plan is to bring hell to Earth. So there you go, Rising Darkness. Plot thread closed.
Yeah.
And that was pretty satisfying to see. I think he could still be in the next season, because at the end of this, we see that, here's another thing they pick up on, the girl he loses to hell, Astra, she's basically grown up in hell now, and so she's kind of evil. Yeah. And they make a deal with her. They say, help us get Ray's soul, and then you can take whatever you want from the soul vault. So she takes the souls of all of these well-known historical serial killers and murderers, marauders, tyrants.
Yeah, it's like you see Genghis Khan and Stalin and, yeah.
Yeah, Charles Manson. So she's going to raise an army of evil people, and, well, since they're all coming out of hell, and they'll basically be the setup for... the antagonists for each of the episodes in the next season, you could still have Constantine.
Right.
And have him send him back to hell.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna... I don't think Constantine's going anywhere. I think he's one of the better characters on the show right now. I love... Matt Ryan's the guy, right?
Yeah.
I love his portrayal of him.
Yeah, he's great. So,
yeah, it looks like they are leaning more into the magic elements, especially with the whole Hayworld being a thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to figure, they can't, could they really allow this to just exist in the world? I feel like they're going to mass anesthetize everyone.
I don't know.
Just send Men in Black to all parts of the world, broadcast,
right.
What do you call it? Amnesia stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I actually just rewatched the original Men in Black the other day, so it's funny that you bring that up. Yeah, so I will say I think they need to keep that intact for this timeline to work, especially for the whole, Zari plotline to... sort of take effect, for the ending of the show to make sense.
Yeah, and that's what I find strange. For anyone who didn't watch it, spoiler, or if you did watch it, Zari, the girl, she's erased now, or that version of her is erased, and she's replaced with her brother.
Yeah, so I mean, the whole timeline sort of exists as it did, except because this horrible future where Muslims were essentially sent into internment camps didn't take hold. Her brother never died, meaning she never got this elemental gem. I honestly forget what it's called at this point.
Well, I don't know if it was Muslims specifically. I think it was just she happened to be Muslim, but it was the whole anti-metahuman act. Anything magical or metahuman was all rounded up.
Yeah,
and,
I think that's what
gotten rid of or whatever. And
I think that's part of what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, so that timeline is done away with now, kind of like a Days of Future Past thing, whole anti-mutant thing. So since that timeline is gone, that version of her, since we're not on Endgame rules here, we're on... Although the Flash is in the same universe,
yes.
and it does it differently. So
time travel.
She's gone. Whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, she still exists in this time. Or she still exists in some form in this world. Meaning, I feel like that romance, that whole subplot between her and Nate, is probably still going to take some effect, even if they don't have the same relationship, even if they have to spend more time rebuilding or remembering, or I don't know. They're going to play on that some more, I'm sure.
That's probably what it's going to be, because I read, I think it was the producer or whatever said that she will, like the actress will reappear in the next season, but not as, of course, the iteration we know her as, and that if Nate finds her, he might not like what he sees. So, I don't know, maybe she'll be a villain or something.
I don't know. I can't imagine she's going to be like drastically different as a character. The only main difference is that she doesn't have this gem now. She didn't have all these experiences of like being in an internment camp, of being a legend, of having that whole struggle. But the fact
maybe she'll have grown up jealous of her brother and sought out her own gems or something.
Yeah, it could be. But I feel like they're not going to play it that way. I don't know. We'll have to see once the new season takes hold and once they release some promotional materials for the new season. What you just saw was a segment from our weekly show, The Utterly Nonsense Podcast, which you can find on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, basically anywhere you can get your podcasts. To see more like this, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and remember, it's not news, it's nonsense. Thanks for listening.